Welcome to the class 4 of Python crash course.
For this class, you are going to need pip. If you try to install something like pip install pandas and you get error, so in order to fix that, you need to copy this command, that is curl this address and then get pip.py. Copy this, paste here on your command window, on your terminal window, or your open anaconda, and make sure that if it's the same environment and also here. So if I check Honda environment list, so as you can see, I have selected ML Python. Make sure to select that one here. You can do this by typing Honda activate machine learning underscore Python. And here you can see this has been activated. You simply paste it here and then run it. This will start happening and this will start the process and pip will be installed. Or you can check your terminal window, paste here and then press enter. It will install it. And let's get back to the class.
So in the last class we studied arithmetic operators, assignment operators, comparison and equality operators, and logical operators. And I also showed you some examples. Now let's get to class 4, and in this class we will be studying modules and pip. And before telling you, you can contact me on my social medias to learn Python programming. The links are in the description. More on strings and user input in Python. What are modules? Modules contain variables or functions. What are functions? Functions are a block of code that can be executed multiple times. The next concept is libraries. What are libraries? Libraries are set of modules. So people who are experts of the industry, they have written line of codes and created functions which are then saved. We can use those functions, those modules in our work to ease and complete our projects by simply installing the libraries. So how you can install a library? You can install a library in Python by typing pip install and library name. For example, pip install pandas. Pandas is a very popular library which I'll talk about in a minute. And if you are using Mac, you have to type pip3 for Mac, so it will be pip3 install pandas. So what is pandas? Pandas, it is a fast, powerful, flexible and easy to use open source data analysis and manipulation tool built on top of Python programming language. So if I go to the official website of the pandas, you will see that a team with years of experience is behind pandas. They define functions and saved in the library, and there are more than 2000 volunteers for this. So if I go to about team, and here you can see more than 2000 volunteers, and here are some more people who are expert in the industry and they have contributed to this. You can also check out a tutorial while getting started with pandas. Let's go and click here getting started, and here is a book and a 10-minute video. It tells about how to use pandas. And finally, you can read a documentation and cheat sheet of this library. So just go and type pandas cheat sheet. Click on the first link, pandas cheat sheet, and here is the pandas cheat sheet which tells us how to use pandas. Here is a method that says bd.melt and gathers two columns into rows, and this way you can look at this cheat sheet and there is lots of useful information. But anyways, let's get back to pandas and install pandas and read an excel file with it. So in order to install pandas, all you need to do is go to your VS Code and in the terminal window click pip install pandas, and before doing that make sure that your environment is selected where you want to install. Another way to check is go to the start menu, type miniconda, which I told you how to install, and here you can see my main environment is the base one, so I can check that conda environment list. Now how did I get to know that conda environment list will give me these all the environments or rooms which I have created for different type of purposes? You can read miniconda cheat sheet and that you will know how to create different environments or rooms for different purposes. So I have created a new room that's called ML Python. You can go and type miniconda cheat sheet, and this is how you can create a new environment. And there are other commands which you can read. So I will simply copy this, open my CMD, paste here, and I will create like deep learning underscore in Python. If I hit enter, it's creating a new environment, or you can say a new room, and asking me if you want to create or not. I clicked on yes, and now if I check Conda environment list, you will see it says I have a base room, I have a deep learning room, and a machine learning room. So I will activate Conda activate ml underscore python room, and there I can install pip install pandas, and if I click and enter, it has already installed it. In this way you can install it just by going to your VS Code and typing here pip install pandas, and make sure the room which you want to install it, you can install in base, you can create a new room and there you can install it, or you can come to your CMD miniconda command prompt and there you can write pip install pandas, and in this way you will be able to install this library. Now how I have selected this environment in my VS Code, you if you see in the bottom here, you will be able to see my deep learning room which I just created, my old room that is called machine learning Python, and the base one. Here's the base one. So I have selected my machine learning one, and here I can install pandas, and as I just checked, it has already installed it. In a similar way I can install multiple other libraries by typing pip install numpy, matplotlib, scipy, and seaborn. If I click enter, it will say that I have already installed this. So in this way you can install multiple important libraries which I have also written here: matplot, numpy, seaborn, scipy, and stats models. So our task was to read a file. In order to read a file, just go in this link or download any other Excel file, as I have already downloaded it, which I have in my folder class 4, and here is the example file. Now first of all I will import my pandas library, import pandas, and here you can just simply type import pandas and then continue to the reading the file, or you can name pandas as something such as name pandas as pd, import pandas as pd, and then you import this file into your VS Code editor by initializing a variable df is equal to pd or pandas if you have not named it pd. I named it pd because this is the industry name, or you can say short name for the pandas, and then I'm going to use read excel into double commas. What's the file name? File name is file underscore example underscore xls10 dot xls. You can rename this file. For example, I can just simply rename it to like file example, right? Just don't remove the extension that says xls. So if I come here and remove all this part, I'll still be able to run. And now if I print df and run my program, you will see here is the file which I just read using the pandas library. So this is how you can use pip to install libraries and use them. And I introduced you about the pandas library by going to their official website. In this way, whatever library you are using in the future, when you become expert or you climb the ladder to being an expert, just go to the library's official website and try to gather information about it, and this will really help you in getting started. Okay, the next thing is importing attributes from the libraries. So I have imported this. Let me comment this out. Now if I import math from pandas, so now I'll be using print math dot, and now an attribute such as square root. Don't forget, so I used math, I entered dot, this gave us this method, that's the square root, and here if I type 16 and then press the run button, and here you can see it is giving me 4. There was a minor mistake that I made earlier, that was from pandas. You don't need to write this, just simply import math and then print math dot square root. In this way you can import multiple attributes such as import sqrt and log. So this is how you can import multiple attributes all at once. And there is one more thing that I would like to mention, that if you are using pandas, and there is one more thing I would like to mention is that attributes can exist in multiple libraries. For example, this square root attribute can also exist in pandas, numpy. So if I import numpy as np and then use np dot square root, and then I enter, let's say, 36 and print it, you'll see that it works. 6. So this is how you can import the attributes. And secondly, attributes can be present in different libraries. Same attributes can be present in different libraries. Now the next concept is about strings. I'll talk about more about strings. So let me comment all of this. So the first thing I would like to mention is how you can create a string. You can use one comma, double comma, and three commas. So if I have a string 1 equal to, using single commas, then you can also use double commas like this. And the third type is string 3, where you use three commas. Okay, so the difference between these two and the third one is that you can write multiple line here. So if I write line 2, line 3, and similarly line 4. So in this way, how you can initialize a string. So if I run and print all these strings, first of all, let me print string 1 and string 2. You will see that now if I print both of these strings, you will see that both are printed. But if I print string 3, you will see that all of these lines, multiple lines of code can be printed and used. So these are the three ways by which you can use and initialize strings. Now let me comment this out, and let's take this first string and talk about the next concept, that is indexing. So for indexing, the starting number is 0 from the left and minus from the right, and in this way you can extract characters from the string, such that if I write print and string 1, and in that I type like 4, so it should give us 1 2 3 4 G. It should give us G, and here you can see G. But if you see here, the G is the fifth character in our day-to-day life counting. So 1 2 3 4 and fifth one. But in Python, the indexing or the counting start from 0. So you will be, so if we have to assign the numbers, U will be 0, not 1. Similarly, S will be 1, I will be 3, I will be 2, N will be 3, and G will be 4. So if I have to import whole word, the word using, I'll have to use from 0 to 4, and you can see the word using, right? And here's the another thing, it will exclude the fourth one. So the reason is not that this is the numbering like 0 1 2 3 4. The reason, if you want to extract certain characters from the string, it will exclude the last one, such that if I write -1 here, it will exclude this one, the comma, as you can see here, using single com, and it excluded the last word. So this is how you can extract words or characters from a string, but it will exclude the last one. Because if you want to write the whole, you will simply print this string, right? And if you want this whole word, which I was trying to print earlier, all you have to do is write one extra. So I will use this space, and now it will print the using. If I write 6 here, sorry 7 here, it will not print the single but till the S. So using S. So in this way you can print the whole string or extract some certain part of the string. So the main thing was to introduce you about the indexing, that the counting starts from 0 and till the end point. Okay, the next concept is that strings are immutable, which means that you cannot change the value of the string. Even if you add something to a string, then it will create a new object or the new memory address, and it will not be the same string as mentioned earlier. As if we have a variable where we have integers or numbers, we can add something to it, and its address will remain same, the variable will remain same. But in case of strings, it's not like that. Such that if I have a string 1 and I choose its support, like say 5, right? And I add something to it like plus Hamad. I'm using fifth location, that is this one, 0 1 2 3 4, that is this one. I'm trying to add in this space. If I run the program, it will give me an error. Okay, if I simply just comma this, I said type error, string object does not support item assignment. Secondly, if I have a string such that I'm trying to add something to it, so if I comment this out and check ID of the string 1 and print it, you'll see that it's showing me this ID 152 at the end. But if now I change the value, its value is changed, and now if I check its address, you will see that it's not the same, because last time it was 152 and now it's 048. So you cannot change the value of the string. If even if it allows you to add something to the string, it will have to create a new address and create a new object for the string, and in this way it's not the same string which you have created earlier. So the strings are immutable, mean you cannot change anything in there, but you can add something to it. Okay, now let's move on to the next concept, that is methods in string. And there are so if I write string 1 dot, so these are lots and lots of methods, and you will learn about these methods as you make projects, as you progress, as you use these. So I do not force on memorizing this, but just try to test some of these on your own so that you get to know some of these methods. So if I use the capitalize, and don't forget to add parentheses whenever you use a method, because some of them will ask what change you want to make. And now if I print it, you will see that the capitalize return the version of the string, more specifically making the first character have uppercase and the rest lowercase. Now if I run this program, you will see that the using single commas u is now capital. Sorry, I forgot to, I already made it. So if I make this small case and run it, you will see that it's now the capitalize. In this way, you can test other methods, such that if I use dot and count how many times the letter S has occurred in my string and print it, you'll see it says 2 times the S has occurred. How? First of all, S is here, and then secondly S is here, so it's giving us 2 times. Let's test another method, that so if I check string 1 is lower, which means that if the case of this string is lower or uppercase, it should say true, because all the letters are lowercase, and here it says true. So there are lots of other methods which you will be using in the future project, so make sure to go and read about this. And if you have any questions, you can come to this AI chat box and ask any questions to this, and it will assist you. So these are the things which I thought that I should tell you more on strings, that using the number of commas, indexing, strings are immutable, and methods in strings, which you will make use of in the future projects. Now there is another concept, that is the final for this class, that is user input in Python. So what is this user input in Python? So if you want to run a program that takes some data from the user and then performs the operations, then this is how you take the information or data from the user, such that name is equal to input and parentheses. Now if I print the name and run my program, you see it's asking me for something. So if I say Hamad, it has printed the word Hamad. So let's make it more understandable. If I enter your name, right? and semicolon, and now if I run the program, it's asking me enter your name. My name is Hamad, right? I've now enter, it's giving me Hamad. So this is how you can take input from the user, and it has a string type. If you want to make it to integer, then you'll have to do the typecasting. So now let's make a program. Here is another thing which I would like to mention, that is a good programmer writes what to do. So here is our question one. Write a program to take an input number and add a number to it, then print it. So let's take a number. Here is our number 1 is equal to, let's say we have class 4, and number 2, that is our next class will be class 5. So let's take input for the number 1, input integer, input, enter your number, right? Similarly, I will use for the second number, enter your second number. Now number 3 will be equal to number 1 plus number 2, and then we will print number 3, right? So our program was to take an input number and add a number to it and then print it. So I can do two things here. I took two numbers for the input and then adding those two numbers, right? So I made it fully dependent on the user. So if I run the program, I enter my first number, that is our today's class, that is class 4, and our second number is our next class, that is class 5. So if I enter class 5 and then press enter, so it's giving us the answer 9. How? It took the number 1, took the number 2, then added those numbers, then printed it. So this is how we made our first program by using the user input. And now we will move to the next one. Let me comment this out by pressing Control and /. Program 2. Let's read what our program says. Write a program to get the names of two persons, then display which one is older or younger. So let's take person 1, or I should say name 1, is equal to, so we'll take the input name for the first person, that is input enter your name person 1. For age, I'll have to take the age as well, int parenthesis input parenthesis enter your age. I'm going to repeat the same steps for the next person, that is name 2, input enter your name person 2. I made a mistake here, let me correct this. This is going to be h1, this is going to be h2. Int input enter your age, that should be enough. Enter your age, enter your, yep, that should be enough. Now what I need to do next is, now I'll have to use the condition statements. I will teach you about the condition statements later on, but just understand this program and you will get to learn them later on. If, as the code is already shown us by the codium, if age is greater than age 2, then print us person 1 is older, right? Else if print person 2 is older. Okay, else and this, and if I run the program, it's asking me the name of the first person. Let's take his name Alex. It's age 27. Person 2 William, age 24. Enter, and here it says person 1 is older. Obviously this is going to be the Alex, that is person 1. So our program was write a program to get the names and ages of two persons, then display which one is older or younger. So I chose the older one, and this is how our program is working absolutely fine, because person 1, his name is Alex, age is 27, which is greater than the person 2, that is William, and age is 24. So our program is running successfully. Another example of taking input and running your program. Now I'll use another program, that is to take name, weight and height and calculate the BMI. So again, First of all, name, input, enter your name, then weight equal to int, as is going to be a number, or you can say float, input, enter your weight. Similarly, I'll take height. Okay, so I just replace it. Enter your height in centimeters. And now I'll use the formula for the body mass index. So BMI is equal to weight divided by height, double static 2 parenthesis. And now I'm going to print the person simply, and then I'm going to print here the name. The next thing is going to be another string. Your BMI is BMI. Now if I run the program, take Andrew, his weight is 80 kilos, his height is almost 2 meters. The person Andrew, your BMI is 20. So this is how you can, this is not in centimeters, it's in meters. So again, Andrew, weight 80 kilos, your height almost 2 meters, and yeah, again 20. So this is the person, and your BMI is 20. So try to make a body mass index which calculates your BMI using height in centimeters. And yeah, that's it from me. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next class. This program can be extended and make a lot better, such as if you are underweight, overweight, or you're healthy. But this is a simple program to teach you how to take user input and perform operations. So in this class, we studied modules and pip in Python, how you can use your terminal window or mini conda to install libraries and modules. Then you studied about libraries and some how to install multiple libraries all at once. You studied about attributes, and same attributes can be present in different libraries. The next thing I told you is about strings, that number of inverted commas up to 3 for 3 different type of strings. How indexing works in string, and strings are immutables. And also I told you about methods in string, which you can test on your own. You can use that black box chatbot AI or any other AI chatbot to understand those methods, and you will learn them while making projects. And the next thing I taught you is about taking user input, and I taught you how to make 3D programs and take inputs. You can contact me on my social medias to learn Python programming. The links are in the description.